I've been thinking recently about this contradiction in current media about how long our formats of media are. Everyone laments that TikTok and Instagram is making our attention spans shorter and shorter, while simultaneously we now have in our media things like video games, which can occupy our attention span for hundreds or thousands of hours in some cases, and movie series and extended cinematic universes like Marvel and Star Wars that are very expansive and can be enjoyed and sort of engaged and lived in for uh, over many years. I mean, if you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're watching the shows, you're watching the movies, maybe reading comics that take place in this same story universe, and you continue to re-engage in that, year after year, as well as book series that are um, very long and expansive. Trilogies have been around forever, and I mean, there's been series like the Dune series of books, which continued on and on. But largely, when J.R.R. Tolkien wrote the Lord of the Rings stories, he set out to write a very long series. That was sort of his project to work on, and it definitely is a substantial series, but it's nothing compared to stuff like The Wheel of Time or um, the Aubrey Maturin series by Patrick O'Brien. Some of these series that have 20, 15 or 20 books in them and millions of words. Some of these series might have 10 or 20 million words. It might take months or years to get through it if you're a diligent reader. So we're simultaneously seeing this weird split where our long forms are getting longer and longer. People listen to podcasts that are hour-long podcasts that are just people having a conversation, or an interview that's a YouTube interview series that might be an hour long talking about how music is recorded or something. So our our media is simultaneously getting smaller and shorter and more granular, and on the other end of it, getting bigger and more expansive. Um, in that thinking, the corollary of these great big expansive written works, which, to be honest, can be intimidating to jump into. It's hard to jump into a book series that's, am I going to like this book series that has, 17 novels in it? Uh, that might put people off. That's a big commitment, especially when it's like, oh man, it really gets great at book four. You're like, I got to put 4 books worth of time into this before I start enjoying it. The corollary to the TikTok videos or the Instagram content that is the 1 minute or less short form for reading, I think, should occupy more of our space. And I, for one, am going to make a bigger effort, and I encourage all of you, this is the purpose of this video, is I encourage everyone to make a bigger effort if you're going to engage in short form stuff. Don't make it, you know, doom scrolling on your phone. Read a short story. Read some poetry. Read something that's only going to take you, 20 minutes. I just read Atmosphera Incognita. It's fantastic. It was like a, hour long read. It was a great little sci-fi short story. Very pleasant. It was just one of these, not even an afternoon, just sit down and finish a quick little thing. That's great. It's great. Just read a play, right? Read something that takes 90 minutes or less. If you want some, calorie-free sort of um, junk food for media consumption, that short form doesn't need to be uh, social media. That short form consumption, if you want something that is one and done and then you're done with it, go find some short story anthologies. Um, it's fun. It really is. It's a great little. You get one idea, you get one little twist in a story, you get one cool character, you get an hour of entertainment. That's all it needs to be. A half hour of entertainment. That's all it needs to be. So don't feel like you need to. Don't feel like the only literature worth consuming is grand, large, epic literature that you can proudly display on your bookshelf and say, this was an accomplishment. I made it through all of this stuff. Read something little. Read 2 poems today. Why not? It's fun. Make your short form media consumption reading short form media consumption as opposed to social media short form media consumption.